Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I'll be breaking down my 2020 photography camera bag and obviously address the big elephant in the room as to why I have a gun in my camera bag, and I feel it's important. So let's go ahead and first dive into the camera I typically will now use and take is the Fuji X III. If you guys already watched that, I switched from Sony to Fuji, so you know that Fuji is my X3 is my camera. I have two of them. One right now is actually filming. The other one is for display here for the B-roll footage. But I love using the Fuji X3 for photography. I love how small it is, how nimble it is. It's the camera of my choice. I don't care about full frame, honestly. APS-C is perfect for me. I enjoy using it. You get great colors. And I paired it with some awesome lens that I want to go ahead and talk about that why those lenses are in my camera bag and why I like to use them for photography. The second item in the camera bag, which is the first lens, is the 16 through 55 f2.8. I love using this lens because it's so versatile. You don't always have to be switching lenses, and it's still fast enough in low light situations. I typically use this type of lens when I'm doing a wedding, in which I just don't have to switch, lenses because it's a fast-paced environment, and you just want to make sure you have all these focal lengths to play with. At times, this lens isn't. I feel it's not as sharp compared to a prime lens like the 56 or the 35 or the 23 f2 that's actually filming this. But I still feel it's a great quality lens. I love it for video, but for photography, I love using this lens because I don't always have to keep switching as much. The second and third item on the list for my camera bag is the 56mm f1.2. I love this lens for portraits. I've been using it more often now. Got to do a session with my wife. I was able to take some pictures of her using this lens, and I feel the portraits, it's just a perfect portrait lens. I use it at f1.2 all the time, and it made my camera bag because it's an amazing lens. I think the autofocus on it, it's not like on Sony's level, like with the 85, FE edition from them, but it's still a fast enough lens. It works good. I mean, it's meant for portraits, so it's not like people are going to be running around for sports photography and whatnot. So it's still a great lens. I also love to use it for videography too as well. But for photography, it's definitely my favorite lens to use when taking portraits. The fourth item in the third lens in my camera bag is the 35mm f1.4. I tend to use this lens when I don't want to carry something that's too heavy, but I still want something that is fast enough in low light situations and that can still provide that depth of field that I'm looking for. And I love using this lens because it's small, it's nimble, you can just take it with you. It's not, it's you can go out in the street and take some photos. You can go out to your family's house, or you're able to go to a place where you just don't want to carry something big. Maybe you're walking a lot. You don't want to carry the 16 to 55. So you take the 35mm. It's a perfect lens. Because I believe its focal length in full frame is closer to a 50mm. So I think this camera with that lens is perfect. The autofocus is not great though. I'll be honest with you and keep it real. It's not great, but I love using it. I love the depth of field. I think if you guys are getting into the Fuji realm, I would suggest to actually try out the 35mm f2, unless you want that 1.4. I wanted the 1.4, but if I think I would have done it in the past again, I think I would have gotten the f2 version, just because the autofocus would have been a lot better, more reliable. But again, that's up to everyone. Now the fifth item on the list is the big elephant in the room as my gun. I carry a Beretta APX Centurion 9mm. I believe for me it's important to be able to use your Second Amendment right. I live here in the United States. I have a concealed weapons permit ever since I was eligible. I've had it. I grew up with a family that had owned guns. Anytime I went on vacations, I went back to Honduras, where my family's from, and the farms. My grandmother always had guns. We were shot. It's something that we've kind of been accustomed to. And I know it's not for everyone, so I know this video may get some critics, why creatives carrying a gun, like why this, why that. But for me, I feel it's important to be able to be honest with you guys and be able to share that I do carry a gun because it is important. I do a lot of collabs, at least I did in the past, not anymore, because this whole this craziness going on. But it's important to be able to exercise that right. It's important to be able to do it properly. I don't carry when it's a situation I'm not supposed to be carrying. I follow the rules, keep the rules, and it's important to be able to know that you can protect yourself or your family if anything were to happen. So, yep, that's the pretty much addressing the big elephant in the room as to why I carry. And sometimes I carry it on me or on my camera bag, just depending if I'm doing a shoot. Sometimes I don't like, it to go into my ribs because it hurts, or I don't like it to go into my appendix or whatnot, depending which way I'm carrying, because it's gonna hurt me. So I'd rather just not, have in my camera bag. Anything happens, I can pull it out. But again, I pray I never use it, never have to use it unless I'm going to the range and just having fun. So yeah. The sixth item in the list is my knife. It's my favorite knife. It's the Microtech Ultra Tech knife. It's a out the front type of knife, so it has a spring loaded forward and back. It's an amazing knife. It's double edged, which is pretty cool. It's probably it's one of those items where I'm gonna pass down to my son, because it's not a cheap knife. It's actually very expensive, and so it's kind of something I just kind of want to be able to pass on, but because I'm into that stuff too as well. So again, pretty cool. So the seventh item in the list that I carry in my camera bag, if you guys own a Fuji X III, you're already going to know that you need extra batteries. So I carry 2 extra batteries, carry non-branded batteries for my photography camera of my Fuji X III. Now my film camera, which is, still the Fuji X III, but the one that I have set up in the rig, I have the external battery grip on there, and those one only take the official battery from Fuji. So with those ones, I only use it with the official. And then for my photography setup on the Fuji X3, I use the fake or the non-brand battery version, and they work perfectly fine for me. And usually, if I'm just shooting out photography, one battery is perfect. But I always like to take an extra 2 because you never know. You want to be prepared. So that's an essential item to have in your camera bag. Sometimes memory is usually not an issue with me, but for my Fuji for photography setup, since I don't use it that much, I have 2 64 gigs cards, and they usually work perfectly fine, but I do like to carry my case with me just in case I need more. And I have a lot more of 128 gigs or other SD cards that I can use when needed. So always carry SD card cases because you never know when you may need it. Now, the biggest thing is important to have is a microfabric towel. Like, if you're not using it and you don't have it, or you're not implementing it to your camera bag, like, you're missing out. You need one. It just makes things so much easier when you take it out, or let's say you're shooting in the rain or something happens that, hey, let me clean my lens real quick, just so you can be able to make sure the image will look great. So, you have dust, or you're in a windy area and there's a lot of sand or a lot of dust or just anything. You want to make sure that you're just prepared. So just have a little towel with you, microfabric towel, and that'll make it easy. Final item on the list is the Peak Design strap. I love this strap. I have the light version. I love using it to carry my camera. I actually also use it for like a video rig setup. I'll show you that, guys, later how I use that. But I love to use the Peak Design strap because it allows me to carry my camera. It looks stylish, it looks cool, and you can adjust it really easily. It's worth the price. It comes with little straps you put on the sides of your camera. And I like to pair it with my Fuji X3. Now, when I am shooting, I don't like to use it because it actually gets in my way. So what you can also do is attach it from the bottom area, add the little clip there, and then you're able make sure it doesn't bother you from your shooting hand, which is your right hand over your trigger. Because sometimes when you try to go into portrait mode, it bothers you and it's so annoying. And so with that, you're able to counter it from the bottom, having it strapped from the bottom, so that you just can be able to shoot and enjoy. So those were my 10 items in my camera bag for 2020. Let me know your thoughts, and I'm sure I'm gonna hear lots of thoughts, especially on the big sore thumb of a gun in my camera bag. Or if not, let me know if you guys carry or you don't carry. Let me know your thoughts on about it too as well, and let me know your thoughts on my combo of lenses that I like to use for my Fuji X3 when shooting photography. Again, appreciate you guys. Leave a comment and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Till the next one.